It has been frequently said that people can be transformed by the power of the Spirit, but such a transformation is not possible because there's nothing real in your human self which can actually be transformed. Your soul has been drawn from divine life, consciousness, and is therefore already perfect. It is your human personality, which is ephemeral and is composed of only magnetic emotional bonding and rejection impulses. I want this, I don't want that. I like this, I don't like that. I hope they don't show up. I hope we can go do this thing. Constantly, all day long, it is this. It is the ego. It is the personality. There's nothing about your soul that needs to be transformed. It is the ego. The I am this, I am that. I want this, I want that. I don't like this, I don't like that. It is this that needs to be transformed because it is that. It's like a veil that you were wearing over your soul. And it's like, I can't see out the veil. Well, you can't see out the veil, but it's been composed by yourself. And it was designed very purposefully, right? Throughout your life, you're born, you're a little kid, you have something happen, and then you're like, oh, I need to protect myself. And so then you put a veil up, right? You're born without it. Maybe. Maybe you were even born with it, depending on what was going on in the womb. If you weren't loved or wanted by your mother, which has nothing to do with who you are. It has to do with where your mother was at that time. That, maybe she couldn't handle a baby. Maybe she, what was going on in her home, maybe she didn't feel it was safe to bring in a baby. Who knows what was going on, but this has happened to people. I've seen this, regressing people back, and they go back to the womb. So they feel like, oh, I've felt this way my whole life. They've really felt that way their whole entire life, but it's not them. Even in the womb, the little baby inside there develops an ego for protection, feeling, oh, I'm not wanted, I'm not loved. And this belief, it is not truth, it is not universal truth, it's that soul's truth. Then takes hold and then flavors the whole life. If you don't believe that you're not wanted and you're not loved, every situation that you go in could have this flavoring to you because you're expecting it, and because you believe in it, and what you believe in is what you'll be witness to in your world. And so when we can eradicate the ego completely, so I made the Mental Cleanse series, if you can eradicate the ego, then what's going to happen is you're going to get to the truth, the actual beautiful truth of who you are as a soul. And when you can recognize that, some people will even go on a real deep meditation. Maybe they'll go on a spiritual psychedelic journey. Maybe they'll go on they'll have some moment of inspiration where all of a sudden they feel, wow, their soul's true essence, and they're like, wow, that's me. And it will change things for them, because up until that point, they didn't understand how beautiful they actually are. And through the ego, they'll put up blockages, barricades, blocking out things that they don't want to come into their life, and trying to attract things that they want to come into their life. And this process will leave them feeling like they're in control of their life, right? If I don't like this and I put up this blockade, then this is the result. And if I like this and I want more of this, then this is the result. And you feel like you're in control, but really, all that you're in control of is the beliefs that you are holding on to. And when you're holding on to these beliefs, it's them that's going to dictate what you actually see. So an example, and I know I mentioned this a few podcasts ago, but it's true, and somebody commented, like, you could be in a group of people, and these people had this experience with this person, and these people had this experience with this person, but they were all in the same conversation, they all had the same thing, but depending on the level of ego that was involved and unhealed, they had a completely different experience. So this person thought that person was angry, this person thought that person was nice and endearing, this person thought that person was sad, and it's all because people are our mirrors, right? They're showing us what it is that we have inside of us that needs attention or that needs to be healed. And we will take something and somebody's experience will be like, no, this person was acting this way to me, that's what I picked up. And somebody who's with you could be like, dude, like, I totally don't think that that's what happened at all. But that person will be absolutely convinced that that is what happened because it is a reflection of the self. a reflection of the self. And so if you don't have that same thing needing to be reflected back to you, then you're going to have a completely different experience. But people will think, oh, I've been transformed by the Spirit. What has happened is you have let some of that ego dissolve. You've seen, oh, it's no longer necessary. I no longer need to keep it. I don't need to have it anymore. And therefore, by letting some of that go, that ego go, you are now closer to the divine. So there's a question in the Christ letters, and they said, be honest with yourself. Are you happy to be here, or would you prefer to cease to live? And if you're truly honest with yourself, many people might say the latter. They might say that. And what is happening when this is the case is that you are then not allowing all of the beautiful, wonderful things that could come into your life. You've blocked them because you believe that this is not a good place to be. You believe that you will not find happiness or joy here. You believe that this is not for you. And therefore, because you believe that, all the experiences that you have in your life are going to reflect that, even though it's not the truth. But they will reflect that because they're going to reflect your inner world. And I know if you haven't experienced this before, it's hard to understand. But you will experience this at some point if you haven't already, and I bet that you probably have. And so that you know that this is true. And so if you're in a really bad mood, what happens? Well, all of a sudden you find other people who are in a bad mood. It just happens, doesn't it? Whereas if you're in a really good mood and you go out, you're like, man, everybody was in a good mood today. Baby, what they were doing was reflecting you. What you are seeing is a mirror. Everybody's just a mirror to you, so you're just seeing what it is that you are. So if you want to have wonderful days like that every day, all you got to do is choose to have a wonderful day like that every day, and then you're going to see that reflection come back to you. But in order to do that and to be able to do it honestly, you got to get rid of all the dirt that's in your mind, all those things that cloud it up, all the veils that you're wearing. So if there's a belief that is not in alignment with the perfect divine love, it will cause harm to you. It just will. It's just a fact. It'll cause harm to you. But if you have beliefs that are beneficial because they're in divine alignment, meaning they believe in the love rather than the fear, then that will be reflected back to you as well. So think about what percent of your day is spent in fear and what percent of your day is spent in love. You could ask yourself, what percent of my day is heaven and what is hell? Because this is the same question. It's the same question. Fear is hell, love is heaven. And I know the church has tried to over the years. They're not going to stand, by the way, because people are looking for words with actual spiritual life in them. This is what they want. This is what they seek. And they know it when they hear it. And because they've been going and paying lip service and showing up and giving an hour of their time a week and they're not getting anything out of it, they're like, you know what, man, this ain't the thing. There's got to be something better, because it even says in their Bible, greater things than I have done will you do. But if nobody in the church has done that, then you're doing something wrong. Something's gone very wrong. Or, you're believing in something that's just obviously not true because, it says that. So if it's not true, so what's going down there? What's happening? People are looking for words with spiritual life in them. And you're looking for words with spiritual life in them. And so what's been happening here is people are slowly understanding that things are shifting. And it's actually, I say slowly, but it's actually been happening really rapidly, because it seems like every person that I come into contact with, they're already on board. They're like, Christ consciousness, yes, please, thank you. I've been thinking about this for, however long now. This has been really part of my world. And then people are coming and they're joining our circles, and everything's speeding up because it's supposed to be speeding up right now. And so that's what's happening. It's happening because it's supposed to be this way. So what's actually going down here in the world is things are going to drastically change over the next several years. Because people are really truly stepping up and they're like, Christ letters? Yes, please. What? I just read something that told me about Jesus' young life that makes a whole bunch of sense. Told me about how he got enlightened rather than he just went in the desert and then he came back and he could do all these things. There's an actual explanation in there. And then it goes into his actual true teachings. Did you reap as you sow? and is true through thought, through word, through action. And when you can understand this on such a deep level of the desperate need to get rid of the ego, your soul is beautiful, shiny, crystal diamond. Beautiful. Nothing needs to change about it. You're perfect. You're perfect. You're perfect. You're perfect. You came here from that level of soul. And you were like, hey, I'm going to come here. I'm going to have an experience. I'm going to help with the evolution on this planet here. I'm going to upgrade things in myself, in my life. I'm going to heal things and resolve past karma from all these past lives. I'm going to do all this stuff. And then you come here, brain wiped, and you forget just how beautiful you actually are. And through that forgetting, well, there's suffering that comes. And then you got to heal that suffering, and then there's remembrance that comes. All these things that you learn is really just things that you're remembering. You know all these things. This is not any new information to you. You know it all already. You're just remembering it. And so think about this. Let's say that you're angry at a person. And so anytime that person's name comes up, anytime you think of them, whether this has, been 30 years ago, but you're still pissed about something, anytime you think about them, you are sending out an electrical pulse to that person that is being received by that person. They're going to feel the same way. They're going to get that very specific vibration, and you're going to pop into their head, and they're going to be like, oh, that's weird. What? Oh, and then they'll think about something maybe that they're mad at you about, or maybe it's something that they did to you, and then that's going to bring up the guilt in them or the shame in them from what they did. But it's going to have a very specific vibrational resonance. And what you send is what they will receive, and then whatever happens to them because of what you sent will be sent back to you, and it will then be in your energy system. And I gotta tell you, anger is not love. It's just not. Maybe there's righteous anger, right? When Jesus was flipping the tables and he's like, you guys gotta stop telling these poor people over here that they need to pay money to murder this little innocent animal to atone for their own sinning. What is going on here? Have you all gone crazy? And so he's flipping the tables and he's pissed. I get it. Righteous anger. It was justified because he wanted something to change. But you know what happened after that? Well, they strung him up. That was it. They're like, okay, people are listening to this guy. I guess that does make sense that, when we murder something else, it's probably actually not atoning for our own sinning, but it's actually just taking away the life of that beautiful thing that was meant to be living. But this is really going to dig into the church's profits, because we've been charging these poor people, all the people, but in particularly guilting these poor people to give us what little money they have so that they don't burn in hell. The people are listening to Jesus now, so we should probably do something about this, because what he's saying is actually making sense. And so they took care of it, and they got rid of their problem. They got rid of the only man who had come to this earth and was preaching the truth. And what was he doing when he was going out? He was talking about the love. He was giving all kinds of examples, and then he was proving it by healing the people. He was saying, there's nothing this love can't do. If you would just eradicate your mind of all the hate and all the anger and all the resentment and all the jealousy and all the malice that you have inside of you, that is what is clouding your connection between you and the divine. That is what is making you suffer. That is what is keeping you poor. That is what is making people not like you. That is what is keeping you stuck where you're at. And he was trying to explain this to people, and he was saying, love can fix all of these things. If you would but believe in the love, and if you would but know it like I know it, you could heal anything that's going on. And then to prove it to them, he would put his hands on the people and he would heal them. But all he was doing was proving the love. I've seen this when my clients have come to me, and they come, okay, this person, they can't walk. This person's got some disease. This person's got some kind of whatever it is that's going on. The experience that they have is getting rid of this ego stuff that has clouded it. Sometimes that's not even the case. Sometimes it is directly just going to the divine love and thanking the divine love for their healing, and then they are healed. It is really just a show of their faith. It is their faith. If they do not have faith, nothing will happen for them. It is their belief. And sometimes, because I've seen it, so this is obviously the case, sometimes people's bodies break down just so that they can remember how powerful the love is, and that it really can heal and do absolutely anything, that there's actually nothing that it can't do, just like Jesus was talking about. He's like, dudes, I'm telling you, yeah, this lady's crippled. No, that doesn't matter. She will be healed if she believes that she will be healed. And then he would heal her, and then she would be healed because she believed that she would be healed, because she heard a message of love. And for the first time, I'm guessing, in her life, she heard something that was actually truth. And it resonated on a soul level because, like I said, we're just remembering. We know all these things. We're just remembering. But we know it all. We came here. We knew it. We had a plan. We got here. Then we're like, what was the plan? Why would I plan that? This does not seem fun at all. But once you get to the part where you've healed the things and you've done the work, and then you're like, oh, this is what it was about. Oh, here's my purpose. Oh, I get it. And then when you've actually healed, and when you've done the work, then all of a sudden things around you change, and you're like, man, not only do I want to be here, but I want everybody to be here, and I want everybody to step into their purpose, because I don't want to do this by myself. I want the whole world to do it, and this is what we need, is the whole gamut of us. Because you know it. You walk into a room, you feel the vibe in there, right? What you are feeling is the energy. What you are feeling is the collective consciousness vibration of that particular group. That's what you're feeling. So what happens when you've got a city? Certain cities have certain vibes. I don't know if you've traveled a lot, but I've gone to a few places that as soon as I landed there, I was in the airport and I was like, I don't even want, I need to leave here. I can't be here. Because they were so low vibrational. I know I transmute energy, I pick up energy, and it was hard to take. It was hard to take to be in that collective consensus that's there. So this is just particular places here on the planet. So think about how energetically, when you're around somebody for a long time, when you're in a certain environment, how it affects you. Because this whole city felt a certain way. So then the whole collective is walking around there and they don't know. It's unbeknownst to them what the vibe is like because they've just experienced it their whole life. They don't even have a clue. Till maybe they leave somewhere and they're like, oh wow, it feels really good here. Or oh wow, it's not so great here, depending on where they came from. But this is a world collective we're talking about. This is the world that needs this beautiful, beautiful awakening, which is what's happening, so that we can create heaven here on earth, my friends. And so what has to happen is that individually we turn on. We wake up, we get rid of the ego, and we're like, okay, I actually don't have any anger. I don't have any sadness. I don't have any jealousy. I don't have any grief. I don't have any vindictiveness. I don't have any negative thoughts towards anybody. All I have is love. And even my tiny little judgments, when I look at a person, there's no judgment that's left. All I see is love. It's just love. Every situation, all of it, I see love. What happens then on our planet? We've then created heaven. And all it takes is a certain amount of us. It is really not that many before it affects the whole entire planet. The whole entire planet. This is what we're doing. And the transformation that is happening is ego transformation. Your spirit, your soul is beautiful. It's perfect. You don't need to change it. You don't need to do anything. It came here perfect. Perfect. You're perfect. But the imperfect part came later. When the ego came and it was like, oh, I need to protect myself. Oh, I need to control this. Oh, I need to do that. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't want this. I don't want that. And you started sending out and planting seeds of things that you don't like, that you don't want, that you believe in. And through doing that, you just see more and more and more and more and more and more and more of it. And it's not helpful. It's helpful at the time, right? If you're a little kid and you're experiencing some kind of trauma, then you put up these walls and these barriers to protect yourself, right? You believe that it's protecting yourself because you don't know any other way. And so you will change things about yourself, maybe to hide, to blend in, maybe you'll talk less, maybe you'll, I don't know what it is, but you're going to get this fear that's going to live inside your body. And it's going to make you feel like you're unsafe, like you can't speak up, that you can't be you because you're not accepted and all the things. Meanwhile, this has everything to do with your parents and their unhealed wounds, and it had nothing to do with you, but because they projected it on you, you took it on, and you believed that it was yours, and then you ran your whole life with it. And then you notice that all the friendships or all the relationships that you end up in are so very similar to that between your parents and the way that you were treated. Because it's unhealed and you are playing a vibration, just like a guitar string inside your body, you're playing this certain vibration which goes out and it attracts that exact vibration to you. And it might be the very thing that you do not want. Because if it's something that you're like, oh, I fear this, oh, I hope this doesn't happen, think about that in that time. Oh, I fear this, I hope this doesn't happen. That vibration is very specific, right? And you're playing it. And it's going to go out and it's going to attract exactly that vibration. You get what you are. You attract what you are. You bring to you the vibration that you're playing, whether it's fear or whether it's love. And so choose fear every time. And when you believe in the fear, when you're playing that chord of fear, it's because you believe in it, right? Because you've experienced something in the past that was like, oh no, this fear is a legit thing, it's real, and I need to be concerned and I need to be worried about it. Well, why does it say 365 times, do not be afraid, do not be afraid, do not be afraid, do not be afraid? One for every single day of the year. Why does it say that in the Bible? Because it's important. Because he said you reap as you sow, and so if you're afraid, you're playing the chord of afraid, and you are going to attract to you, magnetize to yourself through electromagnetism things to be afraid of. And you don't want that. I don't want that for you. You don't want that for you. You don't want that for anybody. But when you play the chord of love, and by eradicating whatever is in the ego that's still attached to fear, right? I'm not good enough. I'm not safe. I'm not valuable. I'm not worthy. I'm not loving. I'm not deserving. I can't get that. This is meant for this person. It's not meant for me. All of these are fear-based things, right? Of, I must not be lovable, because if I was, then my life would be this way. That's fear. And because you're believing in it, that means you've put your faith in it. And if you have faith in anything other than the love, well, you're going to see that in your life. It's going to play out. You'll be witness to it. You'll be witness to the things that you have faith in, just like you can be witness to the things that you have faith in a very positive way. Like I have faith that tomorrow is going to be a really beautiful day, and that I'm going to get to see my grandson up in Canada, and that I'm going to get to see a whole bunch of people that I haven't seen in a long time, and that it's going to be a absolutely smooth, beautiful, wonderful day. I have faith, so I know that this is what's going to happen. But some people, when they go traveling, they got all kinds of fear that's attached to it. And so they are manifesting that into their experience because they believe in it, because they've put their faith in it, and then that would be what they would experience. I used to see this man a long time ago, and he said anytime that he would go on a trip, something would happen, something bad would happen, like, oh, this would happen or that. I was like, well, I'm here, so that's not going to happen. He's like, no, you'll see. I've never gone on a trip. And I mean, he went places all the time, and something would always happen. I was like, well, no, I'm telling you, you're with me, so this is not going to happen this time. And it didn't happen that time. And all the people we met up with were like, what? Crazy, nothing happened. This is so weird. And I was like, I'm telling you why. I'm telling you why. Why aren't you believing me? And then I leave, and he goes somewhere, and immediately then something happens because I wasn't there anymore, right? You are holding, this is my belief, and so I believe in my stuff so much so that it's going to play out every single time because I believe in the love. And so this is what I'm witness to. But because he did not, that was what he was witness to. And it had nothing to do with him being unfortunate or him being that. It had to do with the belief that he was unfortunate in this way, and the belief that something always broke down. But because he so believed in it, meaning it was a thought he continued thinking over and over and over, he kept planting the seeds over and over and over, and then it would come for harvest. And he would reap it. It'd be like, no, this is just my life. No, man, it's because of your thoughts. It's because of your belief. It's because of the way that you think. And if you could only understand that this is exactly how the world works, then you could make your life a beautiful, wonderful existence in all areas, in every single way. Because what we put our faith in is what we will be witness to. So it is really truly the ego, it's the mind that we need to gain control of. How many thoughts do you have throughout a day that are fear-based thoughts, that would be a judgmental or a critical thought? Get a hold of them. And as soon as you do, play it like a game. Okay, wonderful, I got one. Yay. And then you can dismiss it, and you can change it into a loving thought. So let's say you saw somebody down on the street and you instantly judged them in some negative way. Catch yourself. Change it. I bless that person. That person is a wonderful person who is living their experience, and they're learning exactly what they need to be learning here right now in this exact moment. And heavenly love is raining down on that person, and I'm sending that heavenly love to that person because I love them and I want only good and wonderful things for that person, just like this one, and just like that person, and just like someone over there, and just like that person over there, all the people. And when you play this game and you challenge yourself to just do better, be better, just do better. Get rid of the ego, you don't need it. You don't need it. All it's doing is planting seeds of things that you don't want to harvest. And when you get rid of it, then everything just changes for you, and life becomes so much more beautiful. And I know that you're a loving being, and I know that you send out love to people. And so it's not just about this, but what areas of your life do you believe that you struggle in? It's a belief. I just said, what areas do you believe that you struggle in? And you say, yeah, but I do struggle in them because I'm witness to it. Yeah, but it's because of your belief. It's because of the thoughts you continue to think. Change them. They're not in accordance with the divine love. The divine does not want you to suffer in any kind of way. Not in any kind of way. And so when you can get rid of whatever beliefs are there and you can change them to something that is more beneficial, then your world changes. The world around you changes. The people around you change. Your environment changes. And pretty soon, we've healed and heaven on earth is here. This is not only possible, this is the mission, this is the purpose. And what role you play in that, I don't know. You know. On some soul level, you know. Maybe you consciously know it now, maybe you don't, but you know. And your purpose is very important. Maybe it's to care wonderfully for your children. Maybe it's to look in people's eyes when you meet them and let them feel seen and acknowledge them. Maybe it's to connect other people together. Do not diminish or downplay what it is that fulfills your heart and what it is that naturally comes to you and what it is that you are really good at, because it is important. And there's somebody out there that's like, man, I wish I could do that, but that ain't their thing. That's your thing. Value yourself. You are worthy of a wonderful life in this wonderful and beautiful world. I love you all so much. Thank you. This is what I have for you guys here today. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.